Hey everyone, welcome back to 25 Sweetpeas. Today I'm going to be swatching the China Glaze Sesame Street You Do Hue collection, which consists of 12 polishes all inspired by Sesame Street, and they have names to go along with, which makes it super fun. Also, these have a limited edition like tops, like the handles are different. They've got 3 different designs that you could come across when purchasing this collection. There is no like real meaning behind them and which ones they're on, and they're kind of just luck of the draw. But you know, that's it. A collection as a whole, I feel like, is a really good collection from China Glaze, so I'm really excited to start swatching these. First up, we have Living in the Elmo-ment. And this is kind of a jelly-like base here that has a scattered holographic glitter in it that I really, really love. It's just such a beautiful polish on. It covers perfectly in 2 coats, and while I didn't wear it for a super long amount of time, I did not have any issues with any sort of staining. Next up, we have For Real Though, and this is a super bright neon pink shade, very much one of those berry pink shades. I absolutely loved it. Perfect in 2 coats for me, and this didn't dry down to like a super matte finish for neon, which I was super excited about. But of course, I always top everything with a shiny top coat. Anywho, and I didn't have any staining issues with that one either. Next up is MonsterPiece, which is probably one of my faves of the collection. It is a scattered holographic pink polish, but it is such a fine scattered holographic that it just glides on so nicely and almost looks like a linear holographic, even though it's not exactly one, but perfect in 2 coats. Now we have I Count Even, and this one I'm not sure I understand. It is a lavender looking polish in the bottle, but on, as you guys can see, I'm starting coat number 2 here, and I'm still not getting much color payoff. So in my opinion, this polish is better used as a perfector. It kind of helps color correct any stainings that you may have on your nail and would work for a French base. Now we have Amazing, and this is a very kind of chromy like lavender that covers in about 2 coats, I would say. Well, yes, it does cover in 2 coats, but I say that because sometimes you might have to go in with a third just to kind of correct your brush strokes. This does leave brush strokes, which I'm not a huge fan of, but overall a pretty shade. Now we have Grover It, and this is kind of a navy blue, but it's a bit brighter than your traditional navy blue cream. It has a shimmery metallic-y like feel to it, and it has a scattered hollow. Also, it just started to pour, so I'm sorry if there's like static in the background. Now we have a shade called Dat Color Dough, and it is, I would say, clear based, but then it has a blue and silvered scattered micro glitter that does allow you to build up in about 2 to 3 coats. However, I could totally see this polish used as a topper if you didn't want to build it up. Really, either way, it's going to look really fun and very sparkly. Now we're moving on to Free to Be Sesame, which might be like my second favorite of the bunch. It is the most perfect bright evergreen green, if that's even a thing. It has a scattered holographic glitter in there, which I know you can't really see on camera, but I promise you it is there. It is just absolutely perfect. Fabulous formula, and I was just so impressed. And then we have Trash Can Do Attitude, and this is really neat. It is kind of a lime green, and it has a golden shimmery sheen in it. This one covers really nicely in 2 coats, and I didn't really have a major issues with brush strokes or anything. I was, of course, being careful, but I feel like when it dried down, you couldn't tell. Now we have Ernie, Your Stripes, and this is a really pretty kind of like a sunsetty orange yellow shade. We've got a nice scattered shimmer in there, and it just builds really well in 2 coats, and it just, you know, looks like a summery sunset or sunrise. I love it. Now we have I Believe in Snuffy, which is kind of like a golden-y peachy shade in my opinion. It has a really nice shimmer and then like a scattered very fine glitter. This covers pretty well in 2 coats. If you do super thin, you might need a third, but I was content with 2, and I just love this polish. It's not something I usually gravitate towards, but I loved it. Now we have Beak on Fleek, which is the yellow in this collection that also dries down to a matte, as you guys are seeing here. And Well, I'm not the biggest fan of this polish. I will say it was easy to work with, much better than their past matte formulas, and it allowed me to get it on fully, but I feel like it was just kind of blah. I don't know. I had to do about 3 coats to feel like I got full coverage, and I don't know, I just wasn't super thrilled with it. I would rather wear one of their other yellows. It's just almost too Big Bird yellow, but that was the goal for the polish. So if you're after a Big Bird yellow and you don't mind a matte finish, I would go for it. If you're not huge on yellow and you're unsure, I would go ahead and go with another yellow. So there's your final look at all of the new China Glaze polishes from the Sesame Street You Do Hue collection. I feel like I said earlier, it was a really good overall collection. I feel like they pulled out some different things. There were a lot more holographic polishes in this collection, and I liked the mixture of like darks and brights. It was just a really well-rounded collection for summer in my opinion. So that is it. Let me know your thoughts on the collection. What polishes were your favorite? What one would you wear? And yeah, anything you guys have to say, let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all back here very soon for another new video. Bye!